He is a Detroiter, a rock and roll Hall of Famer. There's no doubt you've likely heard his music before, but you may not recognize him by name.
Well, here's something you'll recognize. The music legends he's called friends over the years. Ever heard of Sam Cooke, James Brown, or Jimi Hendrix?
Of course. Photojournalist Alex Atwell introduces us to uniquely rocker Billy Davis.
Who would believe it? No one would believe it. That's why I had my little camera with me all the time, trying to get pictures. My name is Billy Davis, and I'm a guitar player, which I've been most of my life. Still playing. That was my very first guitar right there. I don't know what it is, but the sound of it just captivated me, you know. Whether it was country music, blues, or whatever, just the sound of the string instrument. That's me at the Uptown Theater with my first Stratocaster guitar, which was given to me by Leo Fender. I would name Hank Ballard and the Midnighters as the #1 because I stayed with Hank Ballard for a total of 33 years altogether. I'm playing with a hula hoop with the guitar right there. Come on, baby. The twist, finger popping time, let's go, let's go. And we became the first group in the history to have 3 records in the top 100 all at the same time. That's me and Sam Cooke. That's me and James Brown.
So, did you teach Jimi Hendrix how to play guitar?
Yeah, well, I taught him a lot of stuff, and plus he watched me. Well, we were playing at the Eagle Auditorium in Seattle in 1959. So we went up, opened the door, and there this kid standing there, and I opened the door, I'm looking right at his face. And he had a big smile on his face, and he told me his name was James Hendrix, you know. I had no idea of what he would become. At the time, I had a Fender Stratocaster, and he fell in love with the Stratocaster. He didn't have one. He had a guitar, but a little cheap guitar, but he fell in love with the Strat. Now, to be honestly speaking, he didn't impress me at all, the way he played. But what impressed me was his determination. I would show him different stuff, and he was a perfectionist. He'd sit up with going over the same notes I showed him, just constantly. I showed him how I did a lot of the sustaining stuff, because I was doing a lot, I was experimenting with that. But I found out a way to kind of use it to blend it in with the music, you know. Stage presence too. I was doing back over flips and playing the back behind my head and biting the strings. So that's what I did, and he saw that, you know, and I could see it in his playing, you know, years later. He was doing some of the same things that I had showed him and he had saw me do. I used to could get on the phone and call James Brown, Elvis Presley, Jackie Wilson. I could call it, but now they're not here. And it seemed like they said, did it really happen, you know? It's very emotional because it seemed like it's been it's been a dream.
Very cool. Joining us now in studio live, Billy Davis. Thanks for being with us today, Billy.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
This guy just turned 80, and he has a new record out. Where can people get your new album?
Street Corner Music in Southfield and Melodies and Memories on Gratiot in 9 Mile.
Oh yeah, Melodies and Memories is a great place.
Yeah.
You can spend hours in there. The first time Jimi Hendrix ever played an electric guitar, it was yours. And can you elaborate on what it was like to give him a lesson? What did you show him?
Well, I showed him at the time. He was more interested. At that time, we had about 3 records in the top 100. So we were when we were voted the #1 vocal group in the entire world in 1960. So he wanted to hear a lot of the stuff that I had recorded that was hits, playing back, you know, like Finger Popping Time, Let's Go, Let's Go, Let's Go, and the Twist, you know, that we had that out. Cause we did Twist 2 years before Chubby Checker did it.
Yeah.
So I showed him all this. He wanted to learn all the hits I had played, so I showed him a lot of stuff.
What would you show somebody? Like, for instance, I picked up the guitar when I was 13, and I put it down when I was 13. What would you show me if you're giving me a lesson?
I'm more or less show you the basic. One of the easiest chords is an E chord. What most your blues records are played in. That's what I started playing in. My first record I learned was a record called "Baby Please Don't Go" by John.
Baby Please Don't Go.
Right.
Baby Please Don't Go.
Right.
Baby Please Don't Go down to New Orleans. I love you so. Baby Please Don't go. Tell us about the session work that you did in the studio, some of the personalities that you worked with. I mean, to have the sort of depth and breadth of your career is simply amazing.
Well, some of the most the most amazing ones was with Hank Ballard and the Midnighters, because all the hits, we became the first group in history to have 3 records in the top 100 all at the same time. We did that, and the Beatles come along and did it after we did it, but the Supremes also did. But we have the distinction of being the very first group in the history to ever have it, 3 records in the top 100 all at the same time.
All right, now we have some dates, some concert dates. Nancy Whiskey's June 8th, then the following week on June 15th, O'Mara's in Berkeley with Mighty Michael, and then July 14th, the Lakeview Bar and Grill in Novi. July 27th, Nancy Whiskey's again, and August 25th, Nancy Whiskey's. You got a busy touring schedule here.
Yeah, well, Nancy Whiskey's, that's one of my favorites. I love that book. I love it there.
All right, well, we thank you so much for coming in today, Billy. This is great right here. Look at that.
And thank you so much for having me here.
What do you think of music today, by the way?
Well, I'm really glad I came along at the time that I did, and musically, you know, because not too much I can identify with today, you know. But I have nothing against it, but it's just not, you know.
Can you play us out to the end of the interview? What would you play right now? Live in the D, live in the D. He's singing about you.
Woo!
As the ice on my mama's favorite cake.
Still singing about you.
Greedy as the devil when it comes to loving you. Every time I see you, no, 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 no.
Thank you, Billy.
Oh, thank you so much.
Totsy, over to you.
Wow.
Thank you so much for having me.